The 2018 Orion Neighborhood Television Roadshow comes to you tonight from West Bloomfield High School as the Lakers of West Bloomfield take on the Lake Orion Dragons. And we've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222 for more information. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss. Chris Fritching is alongside me here in the broadcast booth at West Bloomfield High School. Chris, Lake Orion has fought like the Dickens to get back to 500 with a great game last week against Troy Athens. The next 3 weeks are going to show. Tonight against West Bloomfield, Southfield A&T at home next week, and then Bloomfield Hills. Oh, by the way, we got Clarkston coming up on our schedule. But out of these next three, can a 1-2 record be deemed a success?
You know what? I don't think any coach would ever say that. I really believe that you know, when it's all said and done, you got to look at it as we got to go 1-0 tonight, starting tonight, and that's our focus. You know, the offense has been much more efficient, much more consistent. Last week they added Marlon Robinson to the mix, carrying the football 8 times. He carried the football for 80 yards. Unfortunately, the offense has still turned the ball over 8 times in 2 games, so they're going to have to rectify that. They certainly can't do that tonight versus West Bloomfield. You know, defensively, I think Lake Orion's been pretty solid since week 2, making key stops and key plays when they needed to. They too will need to do that again against obviously this very good West Bloomfield team. But again, like you had asked, you know, would 1-2 look like a success during this 3-game stretch? I don't believe so, because I think the focus is on, obviously has to be solely on tonight.
West Bloomfield was within about 2 or 3 points of claiming a state championship last year in one of the strangest state finals you'll ever see against Clarkston. And if you look at this team and what they've done the last couple of years, they remind me a lot of Lake Orion in the 2000s and early in this decade, where they don't, you know, necessarily seem to replace. They reload. They got players coming in and players coming in back of those players coming in.
Yeah, Coach Bellamy, we'll talk about a little bit tonight. You know, he, for head coach of West Bloomfield, done a nice job of really, developing a program, developing a belief system here within the program. You know, you're going to hear us talk tonight about Trey Mosley, a wide receiver, committed to Michigan State. Lance Dixon, linebacker, committed to Penn State. Their quarterback is a junior, C.J. Harris. Puts up some great numbers and does a nice job of commanding. He's got a nice commanding presence, I should say, offensively. They got this kid named Donovan Edwards, a running back, who is a sophomore and who has already got an offer from the University of Michigan. So just some of the names you're going to hear tonight, but you're also going to hear those individuals. If you follow high school football, you follow college football down the road. Those are names you're going to hear down the road and beyond.
In the OAA Red, Clarkston has already beaten West Bloomfield. They have yet to play Lake Orion. And right now, it almost looks like it's Clarkston's division to lose. You buy that?
I would say so. Clarkston's got Southfield, Bloomfield Hills, Oxford. Oxford is playing better this year. Obviously, Lake Orion in week 8. And, you know, Oak Park is a good football team in the OAA White. And so they've still got some tough teams to play, some tough games to play, and anything can happen, as you well know. You have somebody go down, a key player offensively, defensively, a combination of both. You never know, but they are the defending state champions. They've had a very, obviously, quality program, not only in the OAA, but statewide at Division I for the last X number of years. And until somebody knocks them off, then yes, I would say that they are the team to beat, no question.
So it's Lake Orion taking on West Bloomfield tonight. We've got it all for you. Stay with us. Pregame is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222.
it's Owen TV here. Now, have you ever had the urge to create your own TV show, or you just wanted to see what goes behind the scenes of making a TV program? Well, Owen TV has just the program for you. Owen TV offers studio and field production classes that allow you to take control and create the programs the way you want them to be. We will introduce you to media literacy skills and the fundamentals of program production in order to acquire the basic training needs for Owen TV equipment use. To get started, all you have to do is sign up for a free Owen TV orientation, where you will learn all about Owen TV and all the opportunities available to our volunteers, as well as meet the Owen TV staff and take a tour of our facility. After that, you can register for one of our production courses. Both the studio and field production courses are only $10 for Lake Orion residents and $25 for non-residents. For more information about Owen TV's production classes, feel free to call us at 248-393-1060 or go to orionontv.org and click Register Now to sign up for classes. We hope to see you soon.
Okay, just before kickoff, the Lake Orion Dragons invading West Bloomfield High School to take on the West Bloomfield Lakers. Chris, you've got your keys to the game tonight.
Yeah, number one, I think certainly defensively they need to have a complete game. Secondary, linebackers, defensive line, they got to do a good job of forcing some third and long situations for C.J. Harris. He gets a little rattled. You got to put pressure up front on him in those situations. Got to stay on top of the routes defensively, defensive back-wise. They got some speed with their wide receiver crew. Got to be able to stay on top of routes, keep everything in front of you. West Bloomfield comes into tonight averaging 36 points a game, so they obviously put some points on the board. Need a complete defensive game. Number two, simply no turnovers. Got to eliminate the turnovers, but you got offensively got to slow down the tempo. Do what you can to sustain drives, sustain long drives that last a while on the clock to keep that West Bloomfield offense off the field. And then thirdly, I think the focus has got to be on Lake Orion. They have got to focus on them. You come into a game like tonight when you play West Bloomfield, who's got a lot of players that are going to play at the next level. There's a lot of hype, there's a lot of media, there's a lot of social talk around what they do and who they are. The focus has got to be on what they were doing all week in practice and what they can control. And they can control how they play, how they studied all week long, how they practice, and how they play hard tonight. So focus has got to be on them. They can't walk in here tonight saying, oh, we're playing West Bloomfield. They made the state championship game last year. Can't play that way, otherwise they're going to get beat.
We were talking off a little bit and talking with Coach Blackstock down on the field before the game, and we were mentioning about the Rochester Adams game when Lake Orion mounted their surge in the second half, and how the players just couldn't wait to break the huddle, and they were sprinting to the line. They couldn't wait to play, and he says that's the kind of emotion that we got to keep rolling with. That really set the tone for that game.
I think that carried over to last week's game against Athens. They came out and did a nice job offensively and defensively. Athens scored the one touchdown on a short interception return. So they did a nice job defensively, and again, hopefully that momentum rolls into tonight.
Our first quarter is underwritten by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza, longtime underwriter of Owen TV broadcasts since 2009. And the scoreboard for the first half is brought to you by M&B Graphics. If it's printed, they can do it. Located at 199 South Broadway in Lake Orion. Give them a call at 248-690-7527. Teams are out on the field. We are staring into a glaring setting sun. The lights are not on at the stadium. We have a major wind problem tonight. The wind is blowing hard from the west, probably from the northwest to the southeast, and it should affect it probably, Chris, will affect the passing game tonight.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, you even walking down on the field in pregame, it's not to the point where we had to stand up and hold something to stand up, but it will affect a ball traveling both in the passing game and on the special teams game as well.
At this time, we will pause for our national anthem. Once again, replays are underwritten by Jets Pizza. Larry Buss and his crew at Jets Pizza on M24 are proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009. Jets Pizza supplies catering for our cast and crew. Our officials for tonight, the referee is Darren Ford. Head linesman is Anthony Ball. The line judge is Lakelvert Cosby. Umpire is Levon Brown, and the back judge is Andrew Hill. Lake Orion won the toss and deferred to the second half, so we'll see West Bloomfield on offense first. Another nice night for football, but this is one of the few times that we are on the east sideline looking into the setting sun.
I can't imagine it's going to last another 15 or so minutes. We'll be in good shape in a few.
The stadium lights are not on as yet. So number 99, Connor Ross, accepts the ball. West Bloomfield comes out.
Back to receive for the Lakers,
number 24, Anthony May, back deep.
Anthony May had a kickoff return for a touchdown last week against Bloomfield Hills, 93 yards, so watch out for number 24, May.
Is that, can you see, is that Donovan Edwards also back deep, number 6? Yes, it is. Donovan Edwards, the sophomore we talked about. We're underway, and the kick goes out of bounds, kicking into the wind. So West Bloomfield will take over 1st and 10. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, a complete game is what we're looking for defensively for Lake Orion. Again, like we said at the outset, staying on top of defenders, or wide receivers, making sure to keep everything in front of them, understanding their assignments. There's a lot of skilled players that like to spread out the field, West Bloomfield does, and take advantage of mismatches, and that's what they're going to try to do, the Lakers are. And so Lake Orion's got to work on keeping everything in front of them.
1st and 10, West Bloomfield comes out, trips to the left side, single wide out right. C.J. Harris is the quarterback. He's got number 26, Nico Davis, in a slot left. And they were a player short on offense.
West Bloomfield will begin on their own 35-yard line.
Trips left.
They like that
toss out on the left flat. Trey Mosley, or number 6, Donovan Edwards. He's into Lake Orion territory.
They like to run that bubble, that little bubble screen in the slot to Edwards, and a lot of times they like to come back to that same play, coming back to the opposite side of the field. So watch those tendencies throughout the course of the night. They'll run one play to one side, and they'll come right back and run the same play to the opposite side.
Gain of 15 makes it first down at midfield. Handoff up the middle. Anthony May is the ball carrier.
In addition, excuse me, Doug, May had the kickoff return for a touchdown last week. He had 2 rushing touchdowns versus Bloomfield Hills as well.
West Bloomfield going hurry up. They've got twins this side, now motion this side. Handoff up the middle. Number 6, that's Donovan Edwards. He's got another first down. We have a late flag coming in.
Brought down by number 10, Andrew Van Heck.
Andy Van Heck on the tackle.
At the Dragon 21-yard line.
I thought that was a flag. It was not a flag. So 1st and 10, Edwards stays in the backfield, backs in an eye. Edwards splits out, handoff up the middle. Number 24, Anthony May. Gain of about 5. It'll be second down.
So they've given the ball to May. They've thrown the ball and given the ball to Edwards as well. They've got a lot of other players, Mosley and Grodner.
Double wide, double slot look. Handoff to May up the middle, and he's throttled up just as he gets the ball.
That's what Lake Orion's got to do. They got to converge. They got to corral. They got to stay disciplined. You know what we haven't seen C.J. Harris, their quarterback, keep the ball as of yet either, but he's a threat too. He's got good size, throws a nice ball. Like you said earlier, the wind might have a factor tonight, but so Lake Orion's got to do big third down play for the Dragons.
So third and 6 for West Bloomfield. They come out twins right, single wide out left. Keeper thrown over the head of the intended receiver, intended for Trey Mosley. Harrison, you just called it. He got on that rollout and thought he had Mosley open, just overthrew him.
Yeah, they like to run that jet. They call it jet RPO or run pass option, or that the stretch RPO run pass option. That's what that was that time. And C.J. Harris has a tendency on third down to be a little skittish and a little undisciplined, if you will. And you saw that there. You had a wide open receiver in Mosley and overthrew him.
Latafa is on for the field goal attempt. Trey Mosley is the holder. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 10-10 left here in the first quarter. West Bloomfield jumps out to a 3-0 lead. The Lake Orion High School Dragon broadcast program and Orion Neighborhood Television have teamed up to bring you live broadcasts of several Lake Orion High School games and events throughout the school year. That includes all varsity football games, weather permitting, and several varsity volleyball matches this fall. If you aren't able to be in attendance, you can watch many games and events online. A subscription costs less than $10 a month, and half the money goes back to the Lake Orion High School broadcast program. It's a great option for friends and family who might not live in the area. Check out the live stream of Dragon Sports at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon Sports to the world. So a quick score by West Bloomfield, and Chris, they got chunk yardage all the way. Short kickoff coming up to one of the upbacks. Out to the 40-yard line. Andy Van Heck on the return, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10.
You know what, Doug, that you did say they got chunk yardage and they did put 3 points on the board, but I think Lake Orion can look at that as being a positive. They didn't get it into the end zone. They had a big stop on third down. Those are some of the positives you've got to build upon when you're playing a game within the game, like against a team like West Bloomfield.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Backs in an offset I, single wide out right side. Handoff up the middle. Jack DeBrinket in up near midfield. It'll be close to a first down.
Nice start. Nice movement in that offensive line up front. Lake Orion did a great job last week against Troy Athens, averaging about 9.3 yards a play. 7.5 yards on the ground.
They marked the ball back at the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 1. Kobe Manzo in as the lead back. Lauer under center. Handoff to Brinkett. He's got a first down over midfield into West Bloomfield territory. Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy when you're averaging 5 yards a carry so far in 2 plays. I mean, what the heck? You gotta stay with what works. And again, as we talked about, keeping that ball moving, keeping the chains moving, keeping that West Bloomfield offense off the field is going to be a key for Lake Orion tonight.
Dragons break the huddle. Matt Freeman splits wide right. Manzo in a slot left. DeBrinkett's the lone back. Handoff, Freeman trying to get around the left end. He gets around the end, gets a gain of about 5 or 6.
Yeah, Trey Shorter, the safety for West Bloomfield, had a shot to make about a 2-yard loss, and Freeman was able to slither through and get a nice 7-yard gain.
Gave him a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. 8:30 left here in the first quarter.
2 more minutes, that sun's gone, right, Doug?
It's looking better already.
Looks good on TV, though.
DeBrinket got a hole off the right side. He's in the open field off a huge block by Chris Vernon, and he just rode Chris Vernon's back for about 5 yards, pick up another first down for the Dragons.
DeBrinket carried the ball 6 times last week for 30 yards, 2 touchdowns against Troy Athens. Running the ball with some attitude here tonight.
He gets a breather. Marlon Robinson checks in at the tailback position. Robinson gets the carry, got a small hole, got up near the 20 and just over.
Junior, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 44, Cornell Wheeler.
Yeah, putting the nose of the ball right on the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, number 44, Cornell Wheeler, is a guy to look for defensively. He's everywhere defensively. 11 tackles game this year against Oxford, 15 tackle game and 2 sacks versus Clarkston. So we're going to hear his name quite a bit, a middle linebacker for the Lakers.
Backs in the eye. And we're going to have a stoppage of play.
Flag on the play. Dead ball. False start on offense.
False
5
start
yards.
on the
2nd
offense. That'll back them up to the 25-yard line. The referee is mic'd here tonight, so we'll be able to get all the calls.
And those are things you just, as you're driving the ball against a team like this, start your first drive of the night, those are the things that set you back ever so slightly that you can't let disrupt that momentum.
Robinson stays in as a running back. Back stay in the offset. Van Heck split out to the right. Play fake by Blaze, looks, throws, got Van Heck inside the 10. And they're going to mark the ball down on the 6.
That's a nice design play. It just, Lauer, nice play action fake in the backfield, rolls out to his left, gets his shoulder turned. Van Heck was the wing on the far right side, just came across a little drag route. gave a big target for Lauer. Nice completion, nice first down.
First and goal for the Dragons. Van Heck splits right. Manzo and DeBrinket in the eye. Handoff to Brinkett. Got a hole up inside the 5. We'll see where they mark the ball. They're going to mark on the 5. So it's second and goal from the 5. Same offensive look. Manzo and DeBrinket in the back. Marlon Robinson takes DeBrinket's place. He gets the handoff. He's up the middle. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
How about that?
Boy, talk about answer a score with a score. And Marlon Robinson had a hole you could drive a truck through.
I tell you what, the offensive line was very impressive that drive. Forming holes, making holes, and good vision by both backs, whoever was carrying it. DeBrinket, Robinson, very, very well. Look at the flow. Look at the wall of white into the end zone.
Yeah.
You know.
So Connor Ross will come in for the extra point attempt. Mitch Howell is the holder. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:34 left in the first quarter. It's Lake Orion 7, West Bloomfield 3. Orion Neighborhood Television is gearing up for the first annual Ride the Oaks for Holy Spokes on Sunday, October 7th. $40 per team with a max of 5 people per team or $20 per individual. All proceeds benefit Holy Spokes of Lake Orion. Register by September 21st and get a t-shirt with your registration. That's today. Registration forms are available at www.oriontv.org. For more information, call 248-693-3377.
Couldn't ask for a better start. I mean, really, West Bloomfield moves the ball down, 3rd and 6. They hold them, kick a field goal. West Bloomfield goes up 3-0. You're going on the road to defending state finalist, and you drive it right down, score 7 points. Impressive start for the Dragons.
High short kick taken by DJ Jenkins, and he brings it up. Was it a lateral or a fumble? No, Jenkins broke it loose. He's into Lake Orion territory, down inside the 30.
So we got a flag back here on the 31-yard line. I believe it was a face mask.
DJ Jenkins on the return.
He was bottled up near midfield and broke it to the far side and had clear running room.
You know, that's one of those things special teams wise, because the wind, we talked about the wind, right, has a factor, is a factor. May returned to kick last week for 93 yards for a touchdown, and there's kicking short that time. Got to make sure you guys.
Baseline. On the kicking 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Got to make sure you have that kickoff coverage team down there to contain Jenkins that time. They did not do a good job of corralling him in the outside, and he was able to bust free. He had 15 yards on to the end of the run.
The ball was spotted at the 27-yard line, and they're going to take it down to the 13.
This is why special teams is so important. I mean, for this example right here, to give an offense like this a short field from the 13-yard line, you can't set yourself up to give them that short field to work with.
So 1st and 10 for West Bloomfield. C.J. Harris is the quarterback. He's got trips to the right, throws back to May, and he's bottled up after about a 4-yard gain.
Harris pass complete to Anthony May.
Casey Coltrane on the tackle for the Dragons. Twins each side. Donovan Edwards is the running back. He gets the handoff. He's bottled up.
Edwards, the ball carrier, brought down by a host of Dragons.
Ben Sally was the first to hit him and bring him down.
West Bloomfield beat Bloomfield Hills last week 50-7. Edwards had a touchdown last week. Really coming into his own. Coach Bellamy says he's the best sophomore in the state, he believes.
That's pretty high praise. May checks in at the running back position. Low snap, handoff to Edwards. He's bottled up trying to turn the corner, and we got a flag down at the 12. Referee threw it.
This will be an interesting decision because Lake Orion did stop them from getting the.
Blocking the back on the offense. 10 yards from the spot about 5. Replay third down.
So an illegal block in the back by West Bloomfield, and they're going to back them up. It'll be 3rd down and 21 for West Bloomfield.
Can Lake Orion put pressure on Harris in this big 3rd down play?
Twins each side. Again, low snap, looks, throws, battered away. Russ Hastings elevated and knocked it away. From, I looked like it was intended for Tyrone Bowden.
Lake Orion will take that. You know, it didn't have much pressure. He had a nice pocket. Harris did the throw, but you had 3 defenders back, Lake Orion defenders back there on this play. A little backside pressure maybe, but they just ran a vertical route right down the seam. Knock it down, force the field goal attempt.
They're going to try a 36-yard attempt in. Right now it is a swirling wind, a crosswind or a wind into his face. Snap back, ball is down, kick is up. And somehow the kick is good. That was a wounded duck all the way, and I don't think it cleared the crossbar by a foot.
I tell you what, though, I will take that as a victory for Lake Orion.
Oh,
they started that drive, West Bloomfield did, at the 13-yard line of Lake Orion. For Lake Orion to hold and get 3 out of it, I'll take that if you're the Dragons.
3:41 left in the first. It's 7-6 for the Dragons.
Filmmakers, be ready. The Wildwood Film Festival will be kicking off on Friday, October 12th at the ONTV studio located at 1349 Joslin Road. Teams will be given their requirements, which include a prop, location, and a line of dialogue that is to be included in their film. You'll have until 6 p.m. on Tuesday, October 16th to submit the film. On Wednesday the 17th, the films will be viewed and judged at 7 p.m. at the Oxford 7 Cinema in Oxford. Open to all ages. It costs $25 to enter, and the winners will be chosen in the adult and youth categories of 16 and under. The contest benefits the LOHS Students Offering Support Program. To register, go to www.oriontv.org or call 248-693-3377.
So 7-6, and if you are tuned in late to this broadcast and you're watching it on and we have a dead ball unsportsmanlike against West Bloomfield, which means they'll be kicking off from the 25-yard line. They have a number 16 kicking off. and their kickers are not numbered number 16. They're numbered number 83 and 85.
And ball fell off the tee. I tell you what, it's picking up and picking up. It's supposed to dip and get really cool tonight.
It is.
Here come the Dragon boys in the stands and the D and the they're much tougher than I am. Wearing no t-shirts and all painted up, sitting in the booth here on a beautiful September night, freezing, right?
Yeah. So Lake Orion should come out of this with pretty good field position. High short kick taken by Andy Van Heck, and he's into West Bloomfield territory as another flag comes in. Usually in a situation like that, Chris, where you've got a holding against Lake Orion, so this will come back a little. But when you have a high short kick like that, the returner is, can call for a fair catch.
Right.
Andy Van Heck showed a lot of fortitude taking that and just coming right up the middle with it.
Second drive of the night for Lake Orion, a fairly short field on their own 45-yard line. So we'll see what the Dragons can do with it this time through.
Dragon come out. Freeman split wide right. DeBrinket and Manzo in the offset eye. Now Freeman this side. Manzo up the middle for about 5. Lunges forward to midfield. It'll bring up second down.
Bring up 2nd and 5. So far we haven't talked 2nd and longs or 3rd and longs, and that's really, really important, again, to not only move the clock, keep the West Bloomfield offense off the field, but establish a sense of continuity and confidence in that offense.
Flowers worked exclusively under center tonight. DeBrinket up the middle. Had a little seam, surges forward, has a first down over the West Bloomfield 45.
Look at your TV camera right now. There is not any one green jersey in that backfield of Lake Orion. And Lake Orion offensive line's getting off the ball, putting a hat on a hat, a hand on a hand, a hand on a body, and getting some movement up front.
And there's some big players in that West Bloomfield defensive line.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons from the 44. DeBrinket again. Marlon Robinson on the carry. He gets forward for maybe a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
That's what Lake Orion didn't have early on. Marlon Robinson came in first for his first game, his first carries last week, and weren't able to have that rotation of backs to be able to carry the ball. Adding a Robinson to the mix not only keeps guys fresh, but gives defenses different looks to be able to have to account for.
So 2nd and 9. Manzo and Robinson in an offset eye. Play fake. Blaze coming around the end. He's going to run it. He's got a first down and runs out of bounds.
I tell you what, Blaze had me faked. He burned me, if you will. I was watching ball flow going the opposite way. Chris Johnson of the Lakers tackled Marlon Robinson on the right side of the play, and I thought that was the play. And I wondered why there was no whistle. Well, guess what? Blaze had the ball for a first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons on the West Bloomfield 34. Just under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Marlon Robinson up the middle. And that was DeBrinket as the ball carrier. 21-27. He got a gain of about 5, and that's the same thing we said with West Bloomfield. They're getting chunk yardage.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
Coach Bellamy's going to take a timeout and talk it over. 1:40 left here in the first quarter. DVD copies can be purchased by calling Orion Neighborhood Television at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. So the Dragons have a second down, and they're calling it 4 from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, that timeout by the Lakers was strictly because Lake Orion, for the most part, has been having their way with that West Bloomfield defense. Coach Bellamy thought that his defense was the strength coming into into this season, I should say. They've given up a lot of points. They've given up almost 22 points a game. So
Plays rolling right, looks, throws behind Manzo. He got an arm on it, and that's all.
yeah, Blaze got to throw a better ball. Manzo was out in the flat on Wheeler. Wheeler, again, one of their best defenders, but there certainly was green grass in front of Manzo had that ball been placed properly.
So that'll bring up third down and 4. And Chris, the Lake Orion offense is looking a little different than what we had seen in the past. They're staying with a one wide out look, 2 backs in the backfield, giving Blaze some protection, but still they're able to run it, and they were able to get someone out on a flat that time for a reception, for a possible reception. Blaze had 3 people in his face.
Yeah, that's all Lauer. That's a smart play. I think early on in the season, that might have been a situation where Lauer tried to use his feet to avoid that. Smart play, smart decision to throw it away.
Chandler Swoop, Chris Johnson, and others.
Yeah, Van Heck was open in the intermediate route, but tough to be able to see.
Just didn't have the time, and the Dragons are going to go for it. With this swirling wind, it's probably a good call. Trips right. Blaze rolling out. He's got a first down.
That was all Lauer. He knew what he was going to do. Didn't have anybody open, but whether that was designed or not, Lauer knew where the sticks were, knew what he had to get to, and he certainly did that. Huge first down for the Dragons.
So 1st and 10, and we talked about it a little bit early in the season, but as this season goes along, you can see the maturation of Blaze Lauer.
Absolutely. Lake Orion came into tonight 3 of 10 on 3rd down. Add one more to the.
That was a 4th down.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant 4th down. My fault. 3 of 10 on 4th down. Excuse me.
So Manzo and DeBrincat remain in the backfield. DeBrincat gets the carry up the middle, gets maybe a yard. Marlon Robinson checks in as DeBrincat will get a breather.
Chris Johnson, number 99 on the stop. Laker defensive end.
That's Bo Davis with the tackle.
Looked like Johnson to me.
Yeah.
That sun's not an issue anymore.
Oh, it's a beautiful night out. 2nd and 7, they call it on the scoreboard in the waning seconds of the first quarter. Play fake.
Ooh.
Blaze Slips one tackle, but can't slip another as Chris Johnson brings him down.
Yeah, DJ Jenkins just blew up the edge there. Manzo was trying to set the edge, and Manzo got blown back into the backfield. Lauer wasn't able to get much out of that play.
That's the end of the first quarter. The Lake Orion Dragons leading the West Bloomfield Lakers 7-6. Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza, located at 1091 South Lapeer Road, have been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. Give them a call at 248-814-7559. Very entertaining first quarter of football.
Yeah, I mean, both sides. I mean, but again, it's one quarter, but Lake Orion played just about as well as you can play in a quarter. And up 7-6 with the ball on a big third down play. Lake Orion coming into tonight was about 39% on third down.
So it's third down and 10 from the Laker 24. Blaze back to pass, looks, throws, overthrows Matt Freeman out on the left flat, and that'll bring up fourth down. And again, Chris, you're kind of in that no man's land on the 25. It would be close to a 40-yard field goal attempt with this wind blowing in from the northwest. So you might as well go for it.
Had success last fourth down. Why not again, right?
Andy Van Heck split out wide right. Howell comes in a slot right. Sam Starich split left. A delay to Manzo.
Nice call, nice call.
He's got opening, he's in, touchdown Lake Orion Dragons. Wow.
It looked like, wow, pretty call, Coach Fisher.
They had gotten so used to Blaze taking the ball and rolling out, and he started his rollout and just handed it to Kobe on the way by, and Kobe Manzo had nothing but green grass in front of him.
25 yards out, Manzo into the end zone, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
How about that? Connor Ross in for the extra point. Mitch Howell holding. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 11:48 left here in the second quarter. The Dragons take the lead 14-6.
2 fourth down conversions in that drive. Wow, impressive, Lake Orion, impressive.
Go mobile with Orion Neighborhood Television anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. ONTV, working to bring Lake Orion to the world. And if the world's watching this game, they're seeing a good one tonight.
They're seeing a good one, and Lake Orion is obviously playing well. And we talked about keeping that West Bloomfield offense off the field. And they've done their job. They haven't made any mistakes. Had the one penalty that brought them back offensively, but they've overcome those penalties, and they're up 14-6.
Connor Ross will kick off. Isaac Kinney comes up and kind of holds the ball in the wind. End over end kick coming down to about the 15-yard line, taken by Donovan Edwards. He reverses his field, gets outside to the right, and is run out of bounds about the 32-yard line. He took the ball in the 15, got jammed up on the 20, ran 53 1/3 yards the other way.
Tell you what, he's a sophomore. I can see why Coach Bellamy thinks so highly of him. Just the physical tools.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear that name a couple more years here in West Bloomfield.
So West Bloomfield comes out 1st and 10 from their 31-yard line.
They have not thrown the ball to number 7, Trey Mosley, yet. Watch for that to happen.
Looks, throws, caught. You just mentioned Trey Mosley.
Well,
Talk about go up and get it. He did.
And he's going to go get that at the next level. But, at some point in time, you got to go get the ball to your playmakers. And certainly he's one of them, and he showed that there, why he's going to be playing Division I football at Michigan State next year.
34-yard gain brings up 1st and 10 from the 34. Handoff up the middle to May. He's throttled up at the 30. And it'll be 2nd down.
And that's just it. They can strike quick. They can strike quick with all the athletes they have, skill position players they have. So Lake Orion has got to regroup and refocus.
2nd down and 5 for West Bloomfield. Looks, throws, overthrew on the far right side.
Russell Hastings out there to stop.
Intended for number 4, Meccano Hayes.
Yeah, Harris tried to put that ball right in that hole between the safety sitting up at the top in the half field and that cornerback sitting in the flat area. He tried to put it in that hole, and Meccano Hayes tried to go up for it, and Hastings was right there. Big 3rd down play once again. Lake Orion's got to put pressure on Harris.
Harris in the gun. A double wide, double slot look for West Bloomfield. Got pressure. Trying to get to the 1st down marker, and I can't tell if he made it or not.
That's the pressure they
needed. Yes, he did. 1st down.
That's the pressure they needed, but they just got to corral him. Blitz came right up from the middle. And when you're attacking a quarterback like that, you got to make sure you're attacking that front shoulder, especially from the middle. And the outside guys, the ends on the outside have got to be there and contained. Didn't do it that time.
So 1st and 10 for West Bloomfield. Handoff up the middle. Donovan Edwards. He's down to the 15-yard line.
Trying to get that. They're stopping the clock.
It's going to be
a couple times they've stopped the clock at odd times, and the officials are saying, roll the clock, roll the clock. But watch for Edwards. He was carrying that ball awful loose and away from his body that time. See if Lake Orion picks up on that as he carries the ball moving forward.
1st down. Edwards to the outside. He's out at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal. We called it the 2 on the PA, and so will we. 1st and goal from the 2. Sam Perillo ran him out of bounds for the Dragons. So 1st and goal. Handoff. Edwards up the middle. He's in for the touchdown. So, yeah, he's the real deal, and he's just a sophomore.
He's the real deal, and it was set up by the pass from Harris to Mosley to get him over midfield and set the tone for that particular drive. And once all said and done, good body lean, good vision, touchdown Lakers.
Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 9:58 left here in the 2nd quarter. It's a 1-point game. Dragons lead 14-13. During this sports season, Orion Neighborhood Television will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity football, varsity boys soccer, girls swimming, girls volleyball, and the Powder Puff football game. Select games will be streamed live on the NFHSnetwork.com and will be replayed on our channel Comcast 10 and AT&T 99. Visit Orion ON TV for our program schedule. We will be home next week against Southfield A&T. Our entire Orion Neighborhood Television crew will be on hand. Oh, we'll be at Southfield. That's right. We will be with the NFHS Network next week at Southfield.
Jake Ward giving off for the Lakers.
We have the name, I couldn't tell if it was Jake Lord or Jake
Ward.
Ward, okay. Jake Ward is the kicker. He is not on the roster we were provided. And now West Bloomfield's going to have the ball held. Number 22, Dante Thomas, comes out.
They kind of pooched it last time up in the air. Let's see what they do this time.
High end over end kick. That'll go into and out of the end zone for the touchback. And the Dragons will take over 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
So kicking the ball that way, burying them into the the Dragons into the end zone. Again, the wind is I don't know where this wind is coming from, but it's supposed to be with us quite a while.
Well, the flag in the north end zone is just about stiff, and it alternates between due west and out of the northwest. They don't have the flags on top of the goalposts. And we have a late flag.
At their own 20-yard line.
Interesting timing of a penalty flag.
That ball. Delay of game on offense.
Delay a game after you just get the kickoff. So the Dragons take over 1st and 15 from the 15-yard line. Single back in the backfield. Manzo gets the cut. I'm sorry, DeBrinket. No, Marlon Robinson on the call.
Brought down by number 5,
And
Lance Dixon.
he got stopped for maybe a yard gain. Lance Dixon on the stop for West Bloomfield.
Lance Dixon committed to Penn State just fairly recently.
About 1 yard.
He's had a nice season. Number of sacks, number of tackles for losses. Those are the typical Lance Dixon stat lines when you look at his stat line at the end of every game, at least so far this year.
Motion this side. Lauer rolling right.
Oh, got him deep.
Looks. Just overthrew Manzo.
I tell you what, they're going to watch film tomorrow, and Ben Ulrich, the tight end, was wide open on the corner route. Wide open.
He had nobody within 10 yards of him.
Oh, nice clean release by Ulrich. Just ran a simple corner route. And Blaze saw Manzo throwing the ball, but if he just turned his shoulders ever so slightly, saw Ulrich would probably still be running.
You may see that call again before the night's over.
Well, that's what coaching staffs have to do. They've got to recognize what worked and what could have been seen, could have been completed, and come back to that at some point in time.
Freeman on the end around, up over the 20, down at the 20-yard, 21.
Brought down by Lance Dixon.
So it'll bring up 4th down. The Dragons are going to punt.
We're right under the Lake Orion coaches up top who were talking to the sideline, and you could hear the pounding of
yes.
the floor upstairs because they saw the same thing happen. Ulrich wide open on the corner route.
Donovan Edwards back deep for West Bloomfield to take this punt. High snap. DeBrincat gets it down, kind of gives a little rugby type kick, and it's going to go out of bounds near the Lake Orion 30-yard line.
We're going to get a roughing on Lance Dixon, though. I believe we're going to get a roughing on Lance Dixon. He's got his hands up in the air like, what, me? He was the only one back there. Nope, my fault. I was simply watching Dixon's hand gestures. And
I think he thought it was against him.
I think so. DeBrincat didn't come off the field like he.
That's all well and good, but yeah, they're going the other way. Well, when a flag is thrown in a situation like that, 9 times out of 10, it's on the defensive player, and I don't blame him at all. You know, Connor Wheeler for just throwing it. What did I do? And it wasn't on him.
So, a couple times now, Lake Orion has given West Bloomfield very, very, very good field position. And at some point in time, those things come back to haunt you. So can Lake Orion hold West Bloomfield from scoring, or at least hold them to a field goal? In this instance, we'll find out.
Had a little delay getting the sticks set. Now it's 1st and 10. And the wind has really picked up out there. Throws, caught. Harris threw a rope to number 3, Tyrone Broden.
Yeah.
Who showed great body control bringing this ball in.
Nice time, back shoulder throw. All right, did a nice job of defense of Lake Orion staying on top, but threw that back shoulder throw for a nice completion.
Number 6, Donovan Edwards on the run. Gets bottled up, tried to break it inside and was brought down inside the 10.
Edwards, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 42, Joshua Wench.
Josh Wrench on the stop. Harris in the gun. Edwards breaking it out to the left, and he's in for the touchdown. He is quick.
Once he got that edge, nice block on the edge by number 3, Tyrone Broden. And Edwards got into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, he comes as advertised. So number 18, Jake Ward, will be on for the extra point. Trey Mosley will hold. Ball's down, and the kick is partially blocked. And so 7:26 left in the second half. West Bloomfield now leads 19-14.
So West Bloomfield's scored 9 points, a field goal in the first quarter, and this 6-point swing here, this touchdown here, they've gotten those after short fields, giving Lake Orion giving West Bloomfield short fields in which to work with. Just can't happen against a football team like the Lakers. Really can't happen against any team for that matter. But when it's all said and done, Lake Orion was fairly stout early on, but have to find a way to establish something back offensively again, like that first quarter. and early part of the second. Because again, as we have seen, West Bloomfield can strike quick. They can beat you on the ground. They can beat you on the air. They're fairly balanced, 56-44 in terms of run to pass offensively. West Bloomfield is so, you know. But it's who you're going to stop. Which one are you going to focus on? There's so many of them.
Ward approaches, puts a foot into it, high over end kick into the end zone, and the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. And we were impressed with their quarterback of the last couple of years, Bryce Beasley, who's now at Bowling Green, and C.J. Harris looks like a reincarnation of him. He just throws a rope.
Coach Blackstock walked the football out to the head official. The last time out, they did not get Lake Orion's football in on time, and he called a delay of game. So Coach Blackstock made sure the head official got the ball to put in play so they wouldn't get that delay of game penalty.
1st and 10 for the Dragons from the 20. Tight look for the Dragons. Handoff up the middle. Manzo for about 3.
Makari Page in part. We haven't talked about him very much tonight, but Makari Page is another one of those defenders, along with Lance Dixon, that you typically see in and around the football.
Lance Dixon has had his name called a lot tonight. So 2nd down and 7. Lake Orion still staying in a tight formation. Freeman in motion. He gets the ball. Nope. That was a keeper, and Blaze got buried. Number 36, Jordan Hoskins, and number 21, Chandler Swoop on the tackle. They didn't buy that roll out for a minute.
Not much you could do there.
So it's 3rd down and 15 from the 15.
The first 2 series, Lake Orion were putting themselves in good 2nd and short, 3rd and short situations. Last 2 series have been 3rd and mediums, 3rd and longs.
Manzo on the draw. 1st down and more out near the 40-yard line. The Dragons came out in a double wide, double slot look, and the defense bailed on it. Everybody went deep, and there was nobody in the middle of the field when Kobe got the ball.
Oh yeah, that Laker defense the defensive line got too far upfield, and they run that little draw. And you know that defensive line is taught to make sure you don't get too far upfield when that mesh between the quarterback and running back takes place. They got too far upfield, and that's sprung Manzo for the big 1st down.
Lake Orion takes a timeout with 5:46 left here in the 2nd quarter. Be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at ONTV.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also visit our YouTube link for games on demand, www.oriontv.org. So 1st down and 10 from the 37, 5:46 left here in the 2nd quarter. Backs in the offset eye. Tailing back, I think that's DeBrinket. DeBrinket gets the carry for maybe 2. That'll bring up 2nd down. Cornell Wheeler on the stop for West Bloomfield.
DeBrinket, there goes Robinson. Okay. DeBrinket was coming out, but then no one was going in.
Dragons come out single wide out as Van Heck split wide left or wide right. Marlon Robinson, adult play fake to Robinson. Oh, intended. That was the play we just saw earlier to Ben Ulrich. And the ball just got hung up in the wind. He was open.
He certainly was. He got a half step, maybe a step on the defender, but that ball, it hung up there and got Ulrich twisted around, and Ben couldn't turn around. And that's a tough ball when you're trying to adjust. There's a defender on your backside. The wind is what it is. You're trying to adjust to find the football over the wrong shoulder. Good effort, but incomplete nonetheless.
So 3rd down and 8 for the Dragons from the 38. And we have a stoppage in play. Lake Orion's going to take their 2nd timeout to talk about this 3rd and 8.
It's a good timeout because right now, 3rd and 8, this is a big play early in this game. I mean, we're still under 5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. The wind is such a factor that in order to, if the Lakers get a stop here, it's tough to punt the ball in this wind. And again, playing the field position game like we've talked about quite a bit tonight is really important in this game. So it's a big play call for the Dragons. And they've had some good success on 3rd and 4th down so far this game.
And Blaze has been able to put the ball in the air. That last one, he just got a little too much air underneath it, and it just hung on him. So Dragons come out, twins right, single wide out left. Mitch Freeman's in a wing right. Throw back left side. Intended for completed to Van Heck, and he was just mugged as soon as he caught the ball.
Yeah, they try to run away from the trips formation to the short side of the field, a little under screen to Van Heck, and it was certainly scoped out and a big loss for the Dragons.
Yeah, Jordan Hoskins, number 36, sniffed that one out, was right there to meet Andy as soon as he caught the ball. So DeBrinket in punt formation. High kick. Hits at the West Bloomfield 40, takes a small Lake Orion bounce, and is down at the 39, 4:04 left to play in the first half. West Bloomfield up by 5. Orion Neighborhood Television is ready to launch their brand new internet radio station. You can create your own podcast or studio show or sign up to be a DJ. For more information on the radio station, give us a call at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-393-1060. 1st and 10 for West Bloomfield.
I talked last week about when I read that read about spinning some 45s.
Yeah.
Do they do that anymore?
I don't think people know what 45s are anymore. Trey Mosley on the reception. He's heading down the sideline. No one's going to touch him.
C.J. Harris pass to Trey Mosley.
Well, that wasn't 45. That was 60. That was 60 yards touchdown.
That was 4.3.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
And that's all it is just a find your playmakers.
And
find your playmakers in open space. Number 7 is one of those playmakers for the Lakers, and he showed why there.
You watch his strides, the legs move and the upper body doesn't. So number 16, Jack Ward, will be on for the extra point. Trey Mosley, after he recovers his breath, will hold. High snap, ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:53 left in the 2nd quarter. It's now West Bloomfield 26, Lake Orion 14.
During this sports season, ONTV will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity football, varsity boys soccer, girls swimming, varsity girls volleyball, and powder puff football game. Select games will be streamed live on NFHSnetwork.com and will be replayed on our channel Comcast 10 and AT&T 99. Visit OrionONTV.org for our program schedule.
So 26-14, West Bloomfield has taken the lead. 3:53. Lake Orion will get the ball to start the third quarter. They won the toss and deferred.
Efficient drive there. One play, 60 yards. Yeah, it was 14-6.
Yes.
West Bloomfield scored 20 straight. So that's how quick they can strike.
Ward approaches. End over end kick into the end zone, and Lake Orion will take over 1st and 10.
For the touchback, Lake Orion will take over at their own 20-yard line.
So if you're Lake Orion, you've got to get back to what you did those first couple drives here this game, and establish some consistency, establish a running game, establish moving that clock. Again, we've talked about it. You keep that West Bloomfield offense off the field. You've seen what they can do, and in such a short amount of time.
The game is all about adjustments. You see what they do, you adjust to it. Then you see what they adjusted to, and you adjust to what they adjusted to. And it's a never-ending cycle. You find out what works, and when they adjust to it, you find something else that works. Handoff up the middle. Marlon Robinson, first down out to the 30.
Plays like that work. You know, that's what makes football the great game it is. You come to a Friday night football game, it's West Bloomfield versus Lake Orion, but then it's offensive line versus defensive line. It's wide receiver versus cornerback. It's running back versus linebacker. It's the games within the game that make this game so intriguing and so excited to be a part of.
One wide out for the Dragons. Robinson's the tailback. He gets the ball, tries to shake a tackle at the 23 and is brought down. It'll be 2nd down.
Boy, if he shook that tackle, he would have been facing Makari Page, number 8, in the open field, and boy, he just got tripped up there. I thought he was going to break free. But
they gave him 3, makes it 2nd down and 7.
The Dragons have been rotating DeBrinket and Robinson in every other play, seemingly. It's worked out well for them tonight.
Blaze rolling right, coming back left, flag down. Heading for the sideline, cuts it upfield, got a 1st down, but this may be coming back. Yeah, it's that's a spot foul, so one of the officials, they're spotted on the 25-yard line.
Well, especially when that happens on a rollout.
Yeah, it happens away from the play. So it'll be repeat 2nd down, and it's going to be 2nd and a bunch. The scoreboard's calling it 2nd and, no, it's more than 2nd. Yeah, 2nd and 26. Handoff up the middle again to Brinkett.
The ball carrier, brought down by Jordan Hoskins.
Got about half the penalty yardage back. It'll be 3rd down and about 18.
3rd and 16 for the Dragons.
Okay, they're calling it 3rd and 16, so will we. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. West Bloomfield leads 26-14. Backs remain in the offset eye behind Lauer. Blaze rolling, got pressure. He's going to run it. And he's going to be short.
Timeout. West Bloomfield.
Forced out of bounds by number 50.
And West Bloomfield is going to call a timeout with 1:43. It'll be 4th down and 16 for the Dragons.
West Bloomfield's looking to take advantage of, there's been a high snap, there's been a low snap, there's been a hold on a punt by Lake Orion, so trying to take advantage not only of that, but also trying to take advantage of the fact that the wind is so strong. The wind is so strong, in fact, as I was looking around the field, that the pylons, there's only one end zone pylon standing up on either side of the field. Interesting. It's that strong. And those pylons aren't that heavy, but there's got a good solid foundation on the bottom of them. And it's awful windy up here, and I'm glad I'm not upstairs in the perch, if you will, on this press box, because it's a nice stiff breeze up there.
We had a little splash and dash shower through here about 4 o'clock, and it's really turned into a nice night for football. So to bring it into punt, high snap, nice kick. Coming down and out of bounds. They're going to call it at the 37-yard line of West Bloomfield. Now they move it up to the 40. So West Bloomfield will take over with 1:34 left, up by 12.
Keep everything in front of you if you're the Dragons. Keep everything in front of you. Keep everything in bounds. West Bloomfield's got one timeout left, so you certainly know that they're going to try, again, put the ball in the air, try to find their playmakers.
So here come the Lakers. They're coming out with 5 wides. Trips to the right, Twins left. Empty backfield for Harris. Will throw back, intended
Harris pass intended for Edwards, incomplete.
intended for Donovan Edwards, and it was at his feet, and he never had a chance for it.
Again, that little bubble screen there to Edwards, but watch the little bubble screen fake in the vertical. On they'll lull you to sleep with that little bubble screen, and they'll try to go up top to you to a guy like Mosley.
You have Mosley, Lydell, Shepard, and Edwards split right. Pass over the middle, completed to Mosley, and there he goes again. Caught the ball in the middle of the field, cut to his left, and once he got to the sideline, he just turned on the afterburners.
Wow. So their last drive, 1 play, 60 yards. This drive, 2 plays, 60 yards.
60 yards.
Both to Trey Mosley. It's rolled up here at the end. Somebody goes down for Lake Orion. I couldn't quite see in the backside of the play.
And a good job by Lydell Shepard blocking downfield. When Trey got near him, he backed off. But he had enough of a chip on the Lake Orion safety that he didn't get he backed off, and when they put their hands up, that's telling them, I'm not blocking. So we have a Lake Orion player down.
Hastings? No.
Tom Benici, number 14, comes hopping off the field under his own power. So Ward is on for the extra point. And the kick is blocked.
Kinney, boy.
Isaac Kinney in to block it. So 1:20 left in the second quarter. It's now West Bloomfield 32, Lake Orion 14.
Well, you talked earlier about adjustments in the ebb and flow within the game. I don't know how you stop a guy like number 7, Trey Mosley. I don't know how you stop a guy like number 6, Donovan Edwards. I mean, that's what you got to do. And sometimes it looks like, and at least in those 2 plays, those touchdowns by Mosley, it almost looks like it's a man against boys.
Yeah.
Just impressive to watch.
When he caught the pass right about midfield, he was covered. And he made a fake one way,
Yes, he
cut
did.
the other way, and just took off.
And
You find that with the great ones, they've got that extra gear.
Flat out competitor and flat out, and I'm impressed with what I've seen by Mosley and a number of their players.
Yeah.
And but we still got a lot of football left to go, and Lake Orion's got to think that, and they got to think back to what they again did early in this game to get them up 14-6.
So Ward will kick off. Another high end over end kick into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 20-yard line where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. And again, Coach Blackstock is going to walk the ball out to the umpire.
Don't we have ball boys for that? Or Coach Black said.
You know what? I don't know what I haven't seen. Usually you see the little guys are
Right.
the ball boys, and
Yep.
I have not seen that this year. Usually you take a player and you designate, look, if there's not a kid, you have a responsibility to get the ball in. To brink it on the carry, and he's jammed up at the line. They're giving him maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Dragons.
And number 55, Bo Davis.
Van Heck is doing Lake Orion's imitation of the lonesome end. Remember that in your football lore?
I did. I ran it one time at youth football, and it worked.
Up the middle
Manzo
goes
ball carrier.
Kobe Manzo. He's up over the 25 to the 26. And it'll be 3rd down and 4.
And Bo Davis on the tackle.
Probably going to let this clock run down and go into halftime as is.
Yeah, we're in the final 15 seconds of the first half. And they will do that. They will go to the locker room. Very entertaining half of football, but it's been the Trey Mosley show here in the second quarter. We've played a half. West Bloomfield 32, Lake Orion 14. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Halftime is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Malash's Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s.
You'd do anything to take care of that spot on your lawn. So why not take care of that spot on your skin? If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the cancer that kills one person every hour. Check your skin for suspicious or changing spots. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out what to look for. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Halftime, the West Bloomfield Lakers lead the Lake Orion Dragons 32-14. I'm Doug Corliss. Chris Frisching is next to me, and Chris, your impression of the second quarter was pretty much the Trey Mosley show.
Impression, and I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you can say. I mean, he caught a big ball to start. I think it was early in the second quarter. He caught a big ball over the middle, and I had mentioned the fact that they hadn't gone to Trey Mosley, and they sure went to Trey Mosley in that second half, and second quarter, excuse me. And but it's not just him. You know, it's Edwards, it's their quarterback Harris. I mean, it's the guys on the defensive side of the ball that we've been talking about, the Lance Dixon and Makari Page, and just you name it. And it's a quick strike offense. It's a skill player taking advantage of the situations that have been presented to them, and I don't know what you say. I mean, it's just they're a good football team, and they're going to be a football team that is going to go a ways moving forward as long as they're staying healthy, and so far, so fun to watch if you're a Lakers fan. If you're a Lake Orion fan, gosh, Lake Orion did some good things early on.
Yes.
And, and again, we talked about being up 14-6, sustaining drives, moving the chains, keeping the clock running. And whether it's, Lake Orion as a group that just isn't executing anymore, or is a combination of the fact that the Lakers have caught on to what Lake Orion's doing, I don't know, but it's a combination of both, I'm sure. But, as we've talked about it, this game and a lot of games, the ebb and flow of the game of football are such that got to find a way if you're Lake Orion to get the momentum back on your side.
Yeah,
a turnover here, a big play there, whatever it might be.
That's one of the things, because in the first quarter and early in the second, the Dragons were able to run the ball up the middle whenever they wanted, and they tightened that up. West Bloomfield tightened that run defense up a lot. We'll remind you that your third quarter of action is underwritten by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And the scoreboard for the second half of this game is underwritten by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. So we start the third quarter. The Dragons will get the ball to start. And, Chris, about all we can say is they got to keep going with what's worked for them until they find something else.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, Lauer not seeing Ulrich on the corner route. They tried to go back to that play one or two times later on in that second quarter, but missed opportunities in games like this are there's so few out there, and you got to take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. And Lake Orion's going to have to be a defense that, again, is going for football, trying to strip footballs, doing those things. The problem is, West Bloomfield's skill guys are so fast at times, it's hard to corral a ball carrier like that in the open field. So we're going to have to do a good job of taking the proper angles and finding a way to get that football back whenever the Lakers have the football.
The Dragons will be going into the wind in the third quarter. Matt Freeman and Sinai Pillow back deep for the Dragons. Number 18, Jake Ward, has the ball teed up for West Bloomfield. And we're underway in the second half. Line drive kick taken by Matt Freeman about the 7. He's up in near and over the 30-yard line, where Lake Orion will take over 1st and 10.
Good start, good return by Freeman.
Had a little seam up the left side. DJ Jenkins on the tackle for West Bloomfield.
Big 7,100 Chambers leads the Lake Orion offensive line out to start the second half.
You know, we haven't said much about that offensive line, but they've done an excellent job tonight. Single back in the backfield. Motion this side is Howell. Kobe Manzo gets the carry, and he's got about 3 out near the 34-yard line. Chris Johnson on the stop. Gave him a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Pickup of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9.
Dragons break the huddle. Matt Freeman splits near side. Manzo again, he's got running room off the left side. He's open field over midfield down near the 45-yard line.
Hoskins in the stop. Manzo, nice cutback in that little play. You know what?
Lance Dixon is coming off the field. His right shoulder's hanging a little lower than his left. They're going to take a look at him on the sidelines.
West Bloomfield started to bring 8 guys into the box when Lake Orion goes with that double tight formation. That time Manzo was able to escape into the secondary. That's why he was able to get so many yards.
Handoff up the middle. And couldn't tell. That was to Brinkett, and he was stuffed as soon as he got the ball. So losing Lance Dixon would be a huge blow for West Bloomfield.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
So they're calling it no gain, 2nd down and 10. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. West Bloomfield up 32-14. Receivers each side, single back in the backfield. Manzo gets the carry off the left side. He's got a 1st down and more near the 30-yard line of West Bloomfield. It'll be another 1st down.
Run around, little counter play following Manzo. Found Burgess off the left side. Puts a shoulder into number 8, Makari Page.
I didn't see who stood up number 99, Chris Johnson, but they met him at the point of attack, turned him sideways and put him on his back, and that's a lot to put on his back. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Manzo again, he's met and dropped.
Manzo on the carry.
Connor Wheeler
Down by number 55, Bo Davis.
and Bo Davis on the stop.
Wheeler.
Cornell Wheeler. So giving them about a half-yard gain. They're still calling it 2nd and 10.
You know, we don't have the heights and weights on these West Bloomfield players, but when you look out there defensively, they seem tall. You know what? They seem thick.
Yeah.
And, boy, they fast flow to the football.
Lance Dixon is back in for West Bloomfield, that outside linebacker spot. Handoff to Brinkett. He's met and dropped.
That's one of the things that as Lake Orion goes these double tight formations offensively, West Bloomfield's countering by bringing, again, 8 guys nice and tight to the box. And when you can't spread a defense out offensively with formations because you're not able to go to individuals on the perimeter, it makes it very tough to run the football. So the ability to, while Lake Orion has had some success on the ground, you're starting to see these double tight formations that, again, are making it more difficult for running lanes.
We have a flag, and the Dragons are going to get called for an illegal substitution. That'll back them up 5 and make it from a 3rd and 10 to a 3rd and 15 as the referee finally turns off his microphone. Wholesale substitutions for the Dragons go into twins left, single, double wide, double slot look now. Blaze from the gun, looks to throw, got a receiver, intercepted at the 5. Trace Shorter on the interception. He's still on his feet and brought down at the 25-yard line.
We got a penalty way back near where the throw was. Well after the play and well out of the play.
We'll see what the call is.
Chris Verner's coming off the field with his helmet off. So I think it was well after the play, after the interception had taken place. Probably going to be an unsportsmanlike, some sort of personal foul.
All right, so it was against West Bloomfield, offsetting personal fouls on each team. So West Bloomfield takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 7:35 left here in the 3rd. And I'm sure there was some frustration set in on both sides, and the referee and the officiating crew was very quick to handle it. So West Bloomfield comes out in a double wide, double slot look, single back in the backfield. Quick pass over the middle is incomplete. Intended for number 11, Lydell Shepard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, Shepard was wide open in that right slot. They did a little read fake, pulled it out. Harris pulled it out. Shepard's wide open, gets him the ball in a good catchable area. He too might still be running.
Hit him right between the ones. So 2nd down and 10. West Bloomfield stays double wide, double slot. Handoff up the middle to Donovan Edwards. He gets a couple. It'll be 3rd down and long, and this is another test for the Dragon defense.
Josh Wench in there on the tackle. But yeah, you're right, Doug. I mean, this is a big play. Big 3rd down play. Coming up the midway point of this 3rd quarter. Lake Orion's got to get a stop. Keep everything in front of them. Keep everything in front of the chains.
West Bloomfield stays in a 4-receiver look. Single back in the backfield from the gun.
Watch.
Pressure coming. Got a flag coming in, and Harris slides down. He's got the 1st down, but we'll check the flag. It could be holding on the backside of the play. Donovan Edwards is sitting there giving the me? Holding on the offense.
There's also one over here on the line of scrimmage. I don't know if it's the same call or not, but none.
So we'll repeat third down. It's a spot foul.
That's the thing. You defensively, you try to stay on top of these wide receivers, but when Harris is able to break contain and get out in the pocket, he too can run. And it's tough to be able to contain all the skill players that they do have.
So it's third down and about 22. They're calling it 21 on the scoreboard. Trips to the left side. Screen set up in the middle. Complete and going to be short of the first down. Complete to Donovan Edwards. And he had running room, and the Dragons acted really well to close that up in a hurry. So for the first time tonight, the Lakers will have to punt. Mitch Howell back deep for the Dragons. It's like Jake Ward is also the punter. Short kick, takes a Lake Orion bounce, and is downed at the West Bloomfield 49.
Boy, it sure did look like Lake Orion player was held as he's coming off the edge. The far side of the Lake Orion coaches were yelling out there to the officiating crew. You saw jersey being pulled right near the shoulder pad area, but no call nonetheless. But good field position for Lake Orion.
Good. Time
to take advantage of it.
Good field position for the Dragons to start out. 1st and 10, they called now on the West Bloomfield 48. 5:24 left in the third. Dragons need a score. 2 wide out, single back. Handoff up the middle. Kobe Manzo fights for yardage, got maybe 5.
He runs hard, doesn't he?
Oh boy. And I was talking to his dad. I was talking to Jim Manzo a couple weeks ago, and of course Jim Manzo was a good player in the late 80s for the Dragons, and I said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And he said, yeah, it does. He said, I never had as much talent as he has. So 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons. Manzo again trying to get around the corner. Does, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd down.
You know who he reminds me of? Maybe it's because it's the number he's wearing. Mike Allstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, also Dennis Mahan. I know Denny was a little before your time, but he's that style of runner. Never quits. Yeah, I remember Mike Allstott of the Bucs really well. And we've got him back next year.
Mike Allstott?
Yeah. So 3rd down, handoff up the middle, and that's not going to go anywhere. No gain.
Obviously, a situation here where you got to go for it.
Yeah. Jack DeBrinket on the carry. If anything, he got pushed back a yard. It is 4th down. The scoreboard's calling it 4th and 3 from the 41-yard line. And the Dragons are going to go for it. They bring in a couple extra tight ends.
You try to draw them off sides?
Dragons set up in like a double wing formation. Around the end to Mitch Howell. He's not going to make it. He's dropped at the line of scrimmage. He went to, he turned the corner and was just met by a wave of green shirts. So the Dragons turn the ball over on downs. West Bloomfield will take over 1st and 10.
That was just a matter of seeing fast, aggressive defense. I mean, that just, who's going to outspeed who? And that time, the Lakers got to the edge quicker than the Dragons were able to sustain blocks. and they'll take over on downs.
Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza at 1091 South Lapeer Road have been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for continued support. Give them a call at 248-814-7559.
This is the third drive the Lakers have started at their own 40-yard line. They scored one play, 60 yards, two plays, 60 yards.
Handoff inside to number 23, who's not on my roster. Juwan Wiggins. Isaac Kinney on the stop. So 2nd down and 6. West Bloomfield has 2 wideouts, now brings motion this side.
Wildcat formation.
Ball's on the ground, I think.
Yeah, they put Donovan Edwards in the Wildcat formation. Direct snap to him.
Chase Glover had his hand in there somewhere. So it brings up a 3rd down and a long 4 from the 46-yard line. Trey Mosley splits out wide left.
Watch over here on the near side.
Handoff again, number 23, Juwan Wiggins. And he's close to a 1st down. We'll see where they mark it. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Tomanici on the tackle for the Dragons. So 3rd down and 4th down and 1. Again, a little wildcat to Donovan Edwards. He takes it right up the middle. He's got a 1st down into Lake Orion territory at the 40-yard line.
Not only fast, but boy, the moves and the vision.
Yeah. Yeah. He and Trey Mosley both. I just get mesmerized watching their feet. Their feet are so fast.
C.J. Harris split out wide here to the left. Again, Edwards in the Wildcat formation.
Got a double wing look, 2 wideouts, 2 wings. Edwards on the keeper, up the middle. Breaks a tackle, gets down near the 1st down at the 30-yard line. And he's got it. It'll be 1st down and 10 for West Bloomfield.
That's the flexibility you can have as an offense if you've got these skill position players. And it forces not only Lake Orion to have to prepare for it, but every other team that's going to play West Bloomfield moving forward.
1st down, Wiggins on the carry around the left end. He's still moving. He's down near the 10. It'll be another 1st down for West Bloomfield.
It's stuff that you can't prepare for in practice leading up into that week. You can watch all the game film you want. You can work on offensive and defensive sets, but you can't flat prepare for the execution and the speed and the fluidness of the way an offense is run.
The wing tee used to drive us nuts because we only saw the wing tee once a year. We never had anyone who could replicate the wing tee until we got some guy in from Whitewater, Wisconsin, who had been a wing tee quarterback and was finally able to replicate the wing tee for us. We've played 3. West Bloomfield is up 32-14. The Lake Orion High School Dragon broadcast program and Orion Neighborhood Television have teamed up to bring you live broadcasts of several LOHS games and events throughout the school year. That includes all varsity football games, weather permitting, and several varsity volleyball matches this fall. If you aren't able to be in attendance, you can watch many games and events online. A subscription costs less than $10 per month, and half the money goes back to the Lake Orion High School broadcast program. It's a great option for friends and family who might not live in the area. Check out the live stream of Dragon Sports at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon Sports to the world. So right at the start of the fourth quarter, West Bloomfield has a 1st and 10 from the Lake Orion 14. They're out in a double wide, double wing look. Edwards on the keeper, slips a tackle, gets brought down near the 10. It'll be 2nd down. Sam Perillo on the tackle. They're giving him a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
They stay in a Wildcat. Coming around the right side and run out of bounds is Donovan Edwards.
Run out of bounds.
You know, someone we don't talk about very much that has done an excellent job from his cornerback position is Marcus Brown. He's out there every play. We don't talk about him, and that's usually a good thing for a cornerback.
Especially trying to cover these receivers.
So 1st and goal for West Bloomfield. Edwards remains in the Wildcat. Harris is split out wide right. Handoff around the left side to number 4, Meccano Hayes, and he's dropped.
Ben Sally in there.
And we're going to have a holding call against West Bloomfield, so that'll back them up even more. It's a spot foul, so that should bring them back near the 15-yard line, and it'll be marked right about the 15.5. So 1st and goal, this time from the 15. Lydell Shepard splits out wide right. He's going up against Marcus Brown. Harris on the keeper, and he's dropped for a loss. Number 42, Josh Wrench, on the stop. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Right place, right time for Wench. Did a nice job of corralling the elusive Harris.
Yeah. So 2nd down and goal. Loss of 1. It's 2nd and goal from the 17.
Yeah, defensively, it's hard. If you're, I keep using the word corral because that's what you have to do. You can't isolate necessarily one-on-one against these guys.
Right.
You've got to have guys taking right angles to force a back into where your defensive help is.
Harris throws. Complete on the 10.
That's a heck of a catch.
Yeah,
I mean,
completed number 3, Tyrone Broden, and it was. He stretched out and brought it down. They're calling him on the 11, so it's still 3rd and goal.
I really would like to know the height and weights of some of these kids.
Yeah,
on West Bloomfield.
They were not included on a roster.
Mosley and Harris are calling for each other.
Harris.
Good pressure up front.
He's dropped at about the 5. Jack DeBrinket on the tackle. And they not only, it's not only speed, but they're quick. They're quick in their movements. And that's all across the offensive backfield, the receivers, the quarterback, the running backs.
Still trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're let the clock run down and either take a delay or call a timeout.
Well, they have 4th and 6. The back judge is starting his countdown, and they're going to take a delay of game. Oh, they call a timeout with 1 second left. So 8:20. Oh, they did get the delay. So it's 4th down and goal from the 11.
Jake Ward into. We got another flag here at from the back judge, just as West Bloomfield's about to get set. Lake Orion illegal substitution for 5-yard penalty. Dragon coaches are questioning and answering, trying to ask why and on who. So West Bloomfield gets that 5 yards back after the delay of game. And number 16, Jake Ward, in to kick the field goal for the Lakers from about 23 yards out. Mosley puts the ball down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So 8:25 to go in the 4th quarter here. West Bloomfield Lakers 35, Lake Orion Dragons 14. West Bloomfield scored at one point in time. It was 14-6 Lake Orion. West Bloomfield scored 29 straight. Really used the big play, the quick strike to take that lead. And they've done a decent job of obviously stopping Lake Orion. Lake Orion had a couple situations where they gave West Bloomfield some short fields. And as a result, again, 35-14, 8:25 to go here in the 4th quarter. The rival, the games, the history between these games, West Bloomfield has come into tonight having won 4 in a row against Lake Orion. As a program, the West Bloomfield Lakers have come in and made the playoffs, MHSAA playoffs, for the last 4 years. They've done a nice job the last X number of years, obviously making the state finals last year. Pilato in the open field, gets the ball up and over the 30-yard line. Muffed the ball a little bit, was able to pick it back up, and Lake Orion's going to take over 1st and 10 from about the 30-yard line. 8:17 to go here in the 4th quarter. See Pilato doing a nice job of keeping his feet, keeping that ball tight and secured, and spinning out of a couple would-be tacklers. Lake Orion takes over. Ulrich comes in late, lines up the tight end spot in the pro set. Offset eye, Ulrich trades to the left side. Handoff to the Brinkett up the middle. Gets maybe one. Following Manzo. Maybe one. Makes it about second and correction, that was Manzo on the carry. Brings up 2nd and 9. Lake Orion's got to find a way to move the ball downfield, get into scoring position, put points on the board. Manzo offset to bring it deep in the backfield. Lauer rolls out to the right, the short side of the field. Dumps the ball off over the middle, to number 18, Ben Ulrich, who catches the ball just past the first down, does get the first down. That ball was thrown where Lauer threw the ball where only Ulrich could catch it. Did a nice job, Ulrich, going down, catching the ball, securing it, bringing it to his body, rolling, getting the first down.
It was about time Ulrich got a catch. He's worked hard tonight.
Absolutely.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Ball spotted on the 43. 7:15 left to go in the game. I formation in the backfield. Motion far side. Blaze rolling right. Looking, throwing. Got Ulrich. And he had pressure as he let the ball go. It's just underthrown.
He did have pressure, and I don't know that Ulrich ever saw the ball. I mean, usually if he would have seen the ball, usually on an underthrown ball like that, you got to stop. You got to come back and try to meet that ball at its highest point. I don't think Ulrich ever saw that ball, whether he just got spun around, because that too was a ball that, like earlier in the first half, Ulrich got spun around and had to try to look over the wrong shoulder to try to find the football. Again, I think the wind, not only the pressure, but the wind, even though Lake Orion's going with the wind, it still has an effect on the football.
Looks like the wind's coming right out of the north now. So 2nd and 10. Single back in the backfield. Blaze rolling left. Got a lane. He's up near midfield. They're going to mark him down right at midfield. You know, we've said it before that a quarterback's best friend is a receiver who will come back for the ball. Keeps him out of a lot of trouble.
Here's Lauer on the rollout. And he tucks that ball early enough after cutting inside the defender, Hoskins. To not, you know, he was a single threat that time. As soon as he saw Hoskins, he tucked that ball and was running the whole way.
So 3rd down, and they're calling it 4.
Official timeout.
The officials will take a timeout now.
How many timeouts do they get?
As many as they want.
Oh.
Because they got a guy back there controlling the clock.
They don't get 3 timeouts per half?
After 3 quarters, Clarkston 27, Southfield A&T 14.
I don't know what the reason for the stoppage is. The referee and the umpire are having a discussion. And now they wind the clock. Closing in on 6 minutes left to the game.
Try to figure out when they're going to dinner tonight.
Backs in an offset eye behind Lauer. Rolling right this time, looks, throws, just overthrew number 7, Nick Raffini. If he'd been another inch taller, he'd have had that. So that brings up 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
They'll bring up a 4th and 3.
No choice at this point.
No. A punt could pin them deep, but we've seen enough of West Bloomfield tonight. They can score from anywhere. So Marlon Robinson is in at the tailback position. Manzo's the fullback. Have a slot right. Blaze rolling, and he's going down.
When you know you're in a situation where you traditionally have had, if you're going to put the ball up in the air, you're going to roll out. You got an opportunity to tee off for your defense in those situations. That's what the Lakers did that time.
Chris Johnson, Lance Dixon, and a cast of 9. were in on Lauer. Once he rolled out, he really didn't have much of a chance. So West Bloomfield takes over 1st and 10 from the Lake Orion 45. 5:50 left to go in the game. Trey Mosley splits out wide right. McCanno Hayes is in a slot right. C.J. Harris in the gun. Hands off up the middle to Donovan Edwards. And a flag came in late, usually in the area of holding. Isaac Kinney on the stop for the Dragons. We'll check the flag out. Illegal equipment call on the offense.
It's more than likely a mouth guard not in.
Could be.
It was called pretty quick.
Yeah. And that's a good call if that's what it was.
Absolutely. It's all about player health and safety.
So Donovan Edwards remains the tailback. C.J. Harris is the quarterback. Edwards gets the ball, and he was met and dropped. Jesus Cruz.
You hear this crowd?
Yeah, Cruz.
Watch this play. Look at this penetration. 3 technique, number 75, Jesus Cruz. Boom, not even touched. And guess what? You don't block Cruz, guess what happens? That right there.
You go down. Jesus Cruz is 5'9", 265 pounds. In other words, he's a load. Pressure again. And Harris goes down.
Cruz in there, Katie in there. Curtis in there.
Ari Curtis. And a holding call on top of it.
Yeah, I'm looking at West Bloomfield's offense. I don't know that they've made any substitute. I guess a couple. I take that back. They have made some offensive line substitutions in there, yes.
Offensive holding also against West Bloomfield, so that backs them up to their own 45-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 25 yards to go.
Yeah, and West Bloomfield just put an entire new offensive line in there.
Yeah, they're making wholesale substitutions. Under 5 minutes left in the game.
C.J. Harris still staying in there.
Harris remains at quarterback. McCanno Hayes is split wide right. Harris back to throw. Got pressure, running around. Got a flag. Pressure again, and down he goes back at the 30-yard line.
That was an interesting decision by Harris.
Yeah, Ari Curtis in again on the stop.
At some point in time, you just got to
eat it.
You got to eat it. You got to throw it away. You got to do something. I mean, that's, I know he's trying to make something happen, but goodness, you've just put in a whole new offensive line that you probably haven't played with a lot, and knowing the situation, the down and distance, all those things combined. You've got to be there for the long term, and you don't want to do anything to hurt not only yourself but your team as well.
So it is 4th down and almost 40. 4th down and 33 from the, or is it 4th and 20? Yeah, 4th and 33. Or 4th and 38, they're calling it, from the 33.
Sam LaFada in to punt for the Lakers.
Sam LaFata is in punt formation for West Bloomfield. Mitch Howell drops back deep for Lake Orion. And he's up at the 40-yard line. They're not expecting a long punt with this wind. High snap. Lafata gets the punt off, takes a West Bloomfield bounce down to the Lake Orion 39-yard line where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. And it looks like Lake Orion will be making some wholesale changes as well. DeBrinket is going to stay in.
Well, you talked about at the outset. You knew tonight's game was going to be difficult. You knew you had to try to keep that West Bloomfield offense under wraps, if you will, and you try to stop one person, and others can step up. And you know what?
By and large, they did a good job. It's just you can't stop them forever. Blaze on the draw to Manzo. Trying to get extra yardage, and he's going down.
You know, and that's just it. And you know, there's never a moral victory, but at the same time, you know, there were some good things that were done well by Lake Orion, both sides of the football, and you saw a momentum surge early on in this game, and you saw some confidence build. And you know what? This is a long season. Even though this is already week 5 of the regular season, it's still a long season. There's still opportunities moving forward to build on.
Blaze looks, throws this side, intended for Howell, and just over his head. So that'll bring up 3rd down. It's 3rd and 11 with 3:30 left to go in the game.
You know, they'll go on the road to Lake Orion. Will go on the road next week to Southfield. Southfield team, it's 2-2 currently right now, and you know they go on. Then they play Bloomfield Hills next, and so those are certainly 2 winnable football games that are right there for the taking. And then you know week 8's against Clarkston, and then the last game you go down to Monroe. So the opportunities are there.
Blaze rolling right, looks, throws, complete. Near the 1st down on the far side of the field, completed to Andy Van Heck. We'll check the measurement. They're going to call it down about 3 yards short of the 1st down.
It should be a 4th down.
Resetting the chains. It'll be 4th down and 1 for the Dragons from the 47-yard line. Trips near side. Now Van Heck goes in motion far side. Blaze rolling left. Got the 1st down and more, and he's going out of bounds, and a late flag for a hit out of bounds.
Yeah, there's no need for that.
That was unnecessary. He was 3 yards out of bounds when he was brought
Absolutely.
down.
And I guarantee you, Coach Bellamy is going to make a change right then and there.
And Coach Bellamy's right there to greet him as he comes off. So tack on 15 more. It's Lake Orion 1st and 10 from the 30. Dragons go trips right, single wide out left. DeBrinket's the lone back.
How about an opportunity to hit Van Heck up top, single coverage. There's that play they ran earlier.
DeBrinket on the
touchdown.
counter. He's up near the 1st down marker.
That's the play they ran to Manzo earlier for the touchdown. Their 2nd touchdown of the game. Sound like you're rolling out to your right and come back underneath or the counter to the left.
Caleb Sarter on the tackle for West Bloomfield. Blaze rolling
Van
right
Heck
this
on the
time.
comeback. Bam, right there.
Completed to Van Heck. He gets out of bounds about the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Lake Orion.
He really doesn't. Lauer, we've talked about it before, but he really does a nice job of throwing on the run.
He does.
Is he a baseball player?
I think so.
You know, he reminds me of a shortstop throwing the ball, on the run, short roller. He's throwing the ball to get the ball to first base. He does a nice job doing just that.
1st and 10. Lauer in the gun. Drops, looks, corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Van Heck. You called it. They tried to get him in the corner. Just a little too far. 2:35 left to go. It's 2nd down.
Yes, Lake Orion can build on some things in this game. The score might not indicate that, but they certainly can.
Oh, you know, I think Lake Orion's shown the last 3 games they can go out and play with anyone.
This is one of the, even though West Bloomfield's 3-1, going to be 4-1, this is one of the best football teams in the entire state.
Yes. Blaze up the middle. Got a 1st down. Got a touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
Touchdown, Lake Orion.
Quarterback draw. Like it.
And you've got an athlete back there that can do it.
Absolutely. Nice job up front by the line. Nice job up front. Sebastian Marcoux put his defender down on his behind, and that sprung Lauer into the end zone for a touchdown.
So Connor Ross is in for the extra point. Mitch Howell will hold. Ball's down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 2:29 left to go. It's now a 14-point game. West Bloomfield 35, Lake Orion 21. Orion Neighborhood Television is gearing up for the 1st annual Ride the Oaks for Holy Spokes on Sunday, October 7th. It's $40 per team with a max of 5 people per team, or $20 per individual. All proceeds benefit Holy Spokes of Lake Orion. Register by September 21st today and get a t-shirt with your registration. Registration forms are available at www.oriontv.org. For more information, call 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. And Holy Spokes is just a great organization in the Lake Orion area, refurbishes bicycles, gives them to disadvantaged youth. What a great cause. Connor Ross has it teed up, and the wind blows it off the tee. So,
Wind has done his share of that tonight.
It has. And, you know, we've been spoiled because we've had beautiful nights for football all season long. And
it's amazing, though, Adams' game 2 weeks ago and this game, how cool it has been.
Onside kick. And it's covered. It just never got the big hop you need when you onside kick. So Tyrone Broden recovers. West Bloomfield takes over 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. They're calling it the 49. Lake Orion is on the road next week to Southfield A&T. And comes back against Bloomfield Hills in 2 weeks, and I believe that's homecoming.
C.J. Williams in at quarterback for the Lakers.
C.J. Williams remains at quarterback. Handoff, Donovan Edwards, he's upended. As he gets near the Lake Orion 45, it'll be 2nd down.
Nice tackle on Edwards there.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell if that was Hastings or not, but they did a nice job in the open field catching.
Yeah, Russ Hastings on the tackle.
And Lake Orion's using their timeouts. They are certainly not giving up hope.
Oh, no.
You just never know what can happen in this football game.
No.
Have you seen some of the games that have happened in not only high school this year, but college football and even in the pros this year? Some of the late comebacks and the big plays. The Cleveland Browns got their first win last night.
They did.
Go figure, 635 days or whatever it is. And
I'll tell you what, Baker Mayfield looked like the real deal last night in that game.
He did. Don't count guys out just because they don't maybe have all the measurables. Same thing out here in high school field. Just because they don't have all the measurables that you traditionally see in a star quarterback. If you got the heart and you're a winner, you're going to be successful.
That's what we've always said. You can't measure heart. So 2nd down and 4 for West Bloomfield. Harris remains in the gun. Handoff up the middle. Number 26 is still going.
He got knocked down by his own player.
Nico Davis on the carry. And he did as most of them have done, got it up the middle, broke it outside, and had a lot of grass in front of him.
I don't know that Davis was even touched until he got inside the 5-yard line. And even then, I don't know if he was touched by his own player or not.
And we've talked so much about the skilled players. You got to give this offensive line some credit.
Oh, absolutely.
So 1st and goal from the 2. Handoff. Number 26.
Skill players all you
Nico
want.
Davis again. They're going to give him a chance to get his touchdown.
You're right, Doug. I mean, skill players all you want, but if you don't have that unit up front, that's the most important unit on any side of the football, that offensive line. And if you don't have the guys that can open holes and provide time for your quarterback to do what he needs to, it's very difficult to be successful. And this West Bloomfield offensive line, you're right, doesn't probably get the credit it should, but they deserve it.
The tackles, number 75, Jackson Laird, number 77, Bradley. They're huge guys. So 2nd down and goal. Handoff again in for the touchdown for West Bloomfield is Nico Davis, and another late flag comes in after the touchdown. So we'll check out what the flag is.
You know, Nico Davis is a junior for them. I mean, and he's playing behind a sophomore.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive drive by the Lakers that time, but also by Nico Davis and how he ran the ball.
Touchdown is good. That ball, personal foul on offense. It'll be on the kickoff.
And that again is just score your touchdown, go back to your bench, shake your coach's hand, and sit down.
Somebody used to do that in the NFL. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. War number 20.
Yes.
Has a yellow jacket.
Yes.
Yeah. Ward for the extra point. It's good. 55 seconds left in this one. It's West Bloomfield 42, Lake Orion 21. Filmmakers, be ready. The Wildwood Film Festival will be kicking off on Friday, October 12th at the Orion Neighborhood Television Studio located at 1349 Joslin Road. Teams will be given their requirements, which include a prop, location, and line of dialogue that is to be included in their film. You will have until 6 p.m. on Tuesday, October 16th to submit the film. On Wednesday the 17th, the films will be viewed and judged at 7 p.m. at the Oxford 7 Cinema in Oxford. Open to all ages, it costs $25 to enter, and winners will be chosen in adult in youth categories, 16 and under. The contest benefits the Lake Orion High School Students Offering Support Program. To register, go to www.oriontv.org or call 248-693-3377. Under a minute left in this one. West Bloomfield will kick off. Jake Ward's been a busy young man tonight. Line drive kick taken at the 30 by Matt Freeman. He's up near midfield with 50 seconds left.
Nice when that ball bounced. Nice Sunday hop right to him. Get a good head of steam going.
Yeah.
Nice return. Help with that kickoff return average, which I know doesn't mean a lot in this instance, but you know it's tough to come here. You know, this will be the fifth game in a row that West Bloomfield has won in this series, and it's tough to come here, and it's tough to drive here. The traffic at 5 o'clock-ish or so on a Friday, getting over here from Lake Orion is tough, but
Kevin McCormick in at quarterback. He hands off to Austin Roll, who tries to get around the right side and is dropped after maybe a yard gain.
But again, like I said, there's certainly things that Lake Orion can build on and take into Southfield.
And we have another personal foul penalty against the defense, which will tack on 15 more and place the ball at the 35-yard line. Wholesale substitutions for the Dragons. Brandon Robinson in at one wideout spot. Handoff up the middle to look like Austin Roll again on the carry. So second down and 5, under 10 seconds. This should be the last play of the game. Austin Roll around the right side. He's up near the 25, and the clock runs out, and that's it. Their final score, the West Bloomfield Lakers 42, the Lake Orion Dragons 31. We'll be right back. Down after a Lake Orion loss to the West Bloomfield Lakers 42-21. And Chris, we talked about it throughout the game, but during the last 2 weeks and then tonight, this team, they went up against one of the top programs, not only in Division I, but in the state. But they've shown that they can hang with just about anyone.
They can. They can. They're starting to establish. We've talked a couple times before in the weeks past. They're starting to establish an identity, and they are decent at what they're doing offensively. They're finding a nice run game. They're finding a nice balance of Manzo and Robinson and DeBrinket. They're getting Lauer on the perimeter who can run the ball as well, and so they're finding those things. Now they just got to find that next level of the offense and try to find the Van Hecks and the Ulrich to be the part of the passing game, so they can expose or expand the offensive game plan, if you will. And once they find those next levels, that's the next step they need to take as an offense. Defensively tonight, it's one of those things where, boy, oh boy, it's I can't necessarily blame the defense in all cases, because we know, like we've talked about all night long, who Lake Orion went up against. But again, build on what positives there were within the game, and take those into next week against Southfield.
Our next broadcast on Orion Neighborhood Television will be in 2 weeks against Bloomfield Hills. Next week we will be on the NFHS network when the Dragons travel to Southfield A&T. So for my broadcast partner Chris Pritching, Joey Tysick down in the truck pushing all the buttons, I'm Doug Corliss. Thank you for watching. Again, our final score is the West Bloomfield Lakers 42, Lake Orion 21. Good night, everyone.